The next slide I'm going to show compares educational attainment to economic strength. Then it asks the question, to rank the states based on percentage with a college degree, does that correlate with economic performance? And I think it's important to recognize that the measure of college completion has to do with a lot of things beyond education, certainly not to do with education. But also, as all of you know, a child's ability to prosper in school goes well beyond what happens within that school. It has a lot to do with other services that are available to those kids. It has a lot to do with poverty and inequality. But the basic question this asks is, those states that succeeded in getting a well-educated workforce, do they see a stronger economy than other states? And we can look at it. The answer is yes. And the answer is yes, pretty powerful. That is, both the differences between the low-tax states, the states with low levels of overall education, and the states with higher levels of education is dramatic. The wages at the bottom left corner are about $12 or $13 an hour. They're about 50% higher if you look at the better educated states. And you'll also notice there are almost no outliers on this. Alaska and Wyoming, there's two dots there, sort of out there. So if you have a whole lot of natural resources and very few people, you can get out and have another path to economic prosperity. But for almost everybody else, they're grouped right around that line. That is, as your level of educational attainment goes up, your economy gets stronger. And there are very few states, no states that look like they have found a way in today's world to have a poorly educated state through some magic of tax breaks or something else, build a high-wage economy. States with a high-wage economy have well-educated workers. I think that that actually should be much more at the center of every one of our discussions about long-term economic strength, which is that ultimately it's about our people. It's about making sure that the people who grow up in our communities or become part of our workforce have the skills that it takes in order to be attractive to employers. One reason why this might not be at the center of our debate is that it's not always been true. Turn back the clock 30 years, you probably can't see this very clearly, but states like Michigan and Ohio had relatively low levels of education, but pretty high-wage economies. That was a different world. In the world we're living in right now, it's those states that make the investments we need in people that are able to build this economy. So as you think about the work that you're doing, you're obviously both going to be helping people immediately, but whenever you can help children and give them the tools to succeed and to prosper and to be able to go off to college and get trained for a high-wage job, that's more important for our state economy in the long run than anything that anybody else can do who talks about economic development. So I think probably still the most important reason for the work that you do is the effect on the lives of the kids that you work with or adults that you work with. But know that that work is also probably the most important work that anybody's doing